Alrighty, welcome back. How's it going? We're coding again. So, two things. Yes, I am wearing the same shirt as before. Shut the hell up. You're lucky I'm wearing a shirt at all. This is, no, I'm kidding. This is just like a shirt that I've been chucking on when I go on stream, so that I'm not sitting here shirtless. I normally am, it's hot as hell. Australian summers suck. Alright, number two is I did it. I did what I said I didn't want to do last night. I did it last night, which was, my cat making weird noises. God damn it. I redesigned the damage rolls. So, now it is better. So I did the same thing that we did for the regular rolls, and it is beautiful. So, if we look at it, a damage roll, now, there's no such thing as a damage roll result. It's all within the roll itself. It still has all the same functionality of adding damage dice, making the roll. It now makes the roll and adds a bunch of modifiers based on skill and roll type, depending. Which is fun. I also added, just for even more fun, handedness. Not left-handed, right-handedness, but items that are actually equipped. That are actually... So, at the start of every turn... Now, so, rules is written, technically, if you have, like, a sword, and you want to switch it out for a different sword, you kind of have to, like, sheath it, and then unsheath another one. That's technically an action for that, I think. That's shit, and I don't really want to... I don't really want the auto-battler to be played like that. I don't know, it just is kind of shit. So, I've made it so that at the start of every turn, it essentially is using a free object interaction, if you will, to essentially decide what weapons it wants in its hand. So, if we look here, it is looking through all of the items and all of the weapons. I'm unsure about how I want to treat shields here. So... yeah. Anyway, as it stands, it goes through, it gets all of the actions from items and weapons. I have modified that slightly so that the scored actions now include the item object. So I can then look through all of those scored actions, see if it has an item. If it doesn't, then the only action that gets added here that it can do is an unarmed strike. So if an unarmed strike is better than any of these, then it won't equip any weapons, because it is better to just punch it. Which, yeah, so then, yep, if it has no item, then it returns. Sorry, just for a little bit more context, this list that it creates, scored actions, gets sorted by score. So essentially the best weapon is at the top. The best weapon. It does roll for damage and its score, but still. Yeah, and then it fills its hands. So we have 2 hands to fill. If it can use spells and requires an empty hand to cast, then we only have 1 hand that we can put a weapon in. Whoop. This is also where I need to consider a shield, I think. So as it stands, a shield is just, that might be what we actually do right now. But as it stands, a shield is just equipped at the start of the game, at the start of like a fight, and then he never takes it off. I don't know if I love that, because technically as this is written, that would mean that a magician with a shield would never equip a weapon. So it's saying that one hand's stuck with the shield, and then because it needs requires an empty hand to cast spells, then it's going to use that to cast its magic. Magic. I'm just curious, like, should the spell hand be the shield hand? No, actually, I think this works. Thanks, Reki. How you going, buddy? I think this works. So that would mean the magician that has a shield in their inventory will equip that shield. And then... No, I want it to be able to... If it runs out of spell slots or it decides that a weapon is better than a spell, I want it to pick up a weapon. So I don't mind that that's how the shield works. I need to make it so that if it can use spells, requires empty hand cast, I was explaining how this all works, but then... Essentially fills hands. You get the point. But this also does allow for dual wielding. So if you have two of the same weapon, or two light weapons, you can both wield them. If you have... you can wield them both simultaneously. If you have... the dual wielder feat, then it doesn't require to be light. You can equip whatever you want. I need to kill this fly. Where'd you go? I just saw it. God, the light in this room is horrible for chasing bugs. I missed it, but I did get my leg. God damn it, I just had a shower. Oops, sorry. I'm gonna sit that there for now. Let's keep it beside me. Right, so immediately into a conundrum. What if, before it picks the best equipped items, it scores the spells so get best scoring spell. If get the best scoring spell based on action info. We don't need to put into the picking of the spell. We're putting an empty action info, essentially. So, new action info. They don't get anything, do they? When you're picking an action for spells? What? Oh, it's getting reactions. I don't want to get reactions. Hang on, sorry. I want to get spells. And we're just getting the main actions. Yep. Bam. We want that. Alright, so we want to create a list of scored actions that are scored spells. And then essentially what we want to do is when we compare and we find the best weapon that we put into our hand, we'll count the spell as a weapon. So you need a hand to cast a spell, you need a hand to hold a weapon. And that way, we can ignore this line. And yeah, okay, I think that will work. Fun stuff. A little bit annoying here, but this will be a better way of doing this, I believe. So we'll just create another list of scored actions. Like that, and these are going to be scored spell actions. Quickly going to grab those. We're going to bool. Not a bool. We'll just take one scored action. Best spell. Equals null. It's initialized as null, is it not? Yeah, probably. Alright, so we get those, and then we do the same thing as we do down at the bottom. We sort that into a list of by highest score, sorry. So now we have a list where the highest scoring spell is at the top, and we just simply say if his count is more than 0, then the best spell is equal to the first one. Why'd that not work? It's a list of scored actions. I'm indexing it at... Oh, I didn't index it at I. Sorry, I'm indexing it at 0, not I. I need the first slot. So that gives us the best spell. And then... we're going to try and equip the item. Okay, so the only scored action in this list that doesn't have an item is an unarmed strike. I'm just going to try and equip the item. Actually, no, I think this is simpler than I was thinking. So once we get to here, if we're going through this loop here, and we say if hands to fill equals 1, so if we're trying to fill the last hand, so we already have a shield or a weapon or somewhat in the other, and the first scored action in the list, if its score is less than the best spell, then return. Okay, so best spell does have to be nulled. We don't want to check that unless we know we have a best score. Which means we technically have to do a nested if yeah, best spell doesn't equal null, and hands to fill equals that, then we would just return. We want to leave that hand open for the spell. Okay, so now the second one, if we come in with 2 hands to fill, and we pick up a 2-handed weapon, no, dickhead! No, I don't care about how many hands I have to fill. If we get into here, the first thing we check is if the spell is better than the best scored action. Which means that no matter what, we want to keep one hand open. So we simply say hands to fill, minus minus. And we don't need to do that in the while loop. We can do that out here. Right here. So if the best spell doesn't equal null, wonder if we can just do it all in one line. And that. Like, if that does equal null, will it then try that and get mad? Do I have to nest it? I don't know. We'll find out. That means now the spell takes up a hand. So if we have a good spell to cast, then we hold off filling that hand with a weapon. Yeah. I think that works. And that way we also keep shields. Because shields are nice. And I like the idea of shields having priority. Because it makes sense. Like, I'm going to allow you guys to buy and sell your own gear. So if you have a shield and you don't want to be using it in favor of keeping a spare hand open for either spells or a dual wielding weapon, then you can sell the shield. That makes sense to me. Ugh. Eh. My God. Alright, well, with that, I believe we could probably move on to coding the next fighting style. Which I actually don't know what it is off the top of my head. Let's have a look. Ah, speaking of fighting styles, I did it off stream, so I didn't remember. Bam! Great weapon fighting. Not you. You. When you roll a 1 or 2 on a damage die for an attack you make with a melee weapon that you are wielding with 2 hands, you can re-roll the die and must use the new roll, even if the new roll is a 1 or a 2. I'll be honest, I've been a little bit lazy with implementing the versatile property to weapons. I've sort of just been letting them be two-handed weapons. I could probably just make it so that when the weapon is equipped, if it's equipped... if it's equipped in the second slot, then we tell it it's one-handed. So that's we've been a little bit lazy with implementing weapon properties. It's something that we need to do. I don't know, man. Okay, well, let's just continue with great weapon fighting. They're all so complicated. Okay, yeah, alright, so let's just create the script. Great weapon fighting. Great weapon fighting style feature. Right, we're going to... I was going to copy that. I don't really want to. I'm going to copy the defense one. Smaller. This one I actually have a pretty good idea of... Hang on. There. No, not like that. I want to copy that first. And then... There, better. Great weapon fighting. Essentially, all it's going to do... So when we roll damage... These are the rolls right here. So what we need to essentially be doing is making this roll here. We essentially need to be saying, if great weapon fighting, then allow reroll on ones. But there are other things that make it work. So I think I'm just going to make an input up here, which is public bool re-roll ones? Wait, was it ones and twos? Ooh. I'm gonna dupe that. I'm gonna have reroll ones and reroll twos. We might learn that those are one in the same, and then there is never a feature that rerolls ones and without letting you reroll twos, but I don't trust that. So, I'm going to allow those to be two different things. So, right here, in this, I'm going to be able to say, if roll equals 1, and can reroll ones, then roll it again. You are willing, you can re-roll the die and must use the new roll. Good, it's not an advantage, it means we just straight up replace it like that. Duplicate that. Re-roll twos, and if it is a 2, then you can also re-roll it. Sick. So now, we have to trigger that. We have to set those to true under the right circumstances with that feature. So, when you make a melee attack, so it's going to be on the start of the turn. We're going to check if you are wielding a two-handed or versatile weapon, and give this benefit. But I can't give this benefit in the same way that I've given a roll modification. So how do we convert this? How do this translate? Just copy that. So on turn start, okay, no, so that's actually not bad. All it means is we have to set these roll modifiers before we roll the dice. Like that. Then we'll have another one down the bottom that is process. Roll modifiers, which is what's doing there. But when we get the roll modification, it has this information in it. Name, bonus, negative is roll. So we want another part of the roll modification that says public bool, re-roll ones, and re-roll twos. So this, we can have a modification with re-roll ones and re-roll twos attached to it. Is bonus ever set? No, it is not. Good, 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 good. Which means that we can take these process modifiers, we can also take that up the top. So that we're looking through all of the different modifiers. If it's a modifier... If the modifier itself has no bonus, if it's 0, 0, 0, 0, then it doesn't matter. So even if it gets processed, even when it gets processed here and added, it'll be added as a 0. But it's in here that we'll be able to say if roll modifications dot reroll ones oops I dot reroll ones, then reroll ones equals true. So if the modification is saying that we are allowing to reroll ones, then we're setting that to true, and then for every subsequent roll we'll be able to reroll ones. I don't think that includes the damage modification die. No, that wouldn't make sense. Alright. I think that works. I think that works. That should allow us to reroll ones and reroll twos. And then in here, we just got to say... Yeah, if we're wielding a weapon with a two-handed or versatile property, then allow it. So we're going to go over to here again. We're going to add this back here. Add Create weapon fighting modification. To a melee weapon attack. Great weapon fighting. Terrible name. Let me select it. I hate this mouse. Like that. The bonus is 0. And then we say re-roll one. No. U. Reroll ones equals true. Reroll twos equals true. So that is what this modification is doing. And then we're removing it down here. So on a melee weapon attack, we add 0 bonuses, but we allow rerolls. Yep, okay, so now we just need to determine when we should add and when we should remove this. Which, similar to this one, we want to see when this equals true, and that'll equal true if we can only receive this benefit with a versatile or two-handed weapon, which means that it's got to be used in the two-handed fashion. So we can only ever have one item. Which means we can easily just say user.equipped items equals null if user.equipped items user equipped items never equals null. It gets set to a new index. If its count is equal to 1. So if we have specifically one item in our hand, and if that is, come here. If that weapon go away. If it is a two-handed weapon, else if it's a versatile weapon, missing one more of these. My bad. Okay, we're no longer looping, which means we only need to see the first one. Okay, if it's two-handed, then adding equals true. Or teru. If it's a versatile weapon, oh, never mind. I was going to say if it's a versatile weapon, then oh, we just need to check that it's not using a shield. Yeah, we'll just say if user.equipped shield. I know we're not really accounting for versatile weapons. Itchy back. As one-handed options. I think now now that we're doing this on start of turn, I could probably set it. But either way, if equipped shield doesn't equal null, as in we have an equipped shield. Actually no, we need it to equal null. Equals null. Then adding equals true. So it's a versatile weapon. Then we can only get the two-handed benefit, the great weapon fighting benefit, if we're using it as a two-handed. Which only happens if we're not using a shield. Yep. Yep. The only annoying thing about like all this shit here is, as you say, your character's really good with versatile weapons. It's very difficult. Actually, no, this should work. I was gonna say it's difficult to make sure that the score is increasing. So like, this great weapon fighting. Yeah, I think that works, because it just means that any melee weapon attack that's made in that turn gets this benefit. But because we've set this, set it so that it can only use weapons that it has in its hands, then we know we're good. And then if we switch to something else next turn, and we're not in the same situation, then we can remove the damage. That modifier. I think that works. I'm just going to assume that it does, and we're not even going to test it. Fighter, fighting styles, D&D actions, features. I really wish these were in alphabetical order. Fighting styles, great weapon fighting. Wonderful. And then the next one, interception. When a creature you can see hits a target other than you. Oh. You can use your reaction to reduce the damage to, Yeah, the best thing about that, we don't have to code it. When a creature you can see hits a target other than you, there are no targets other than you in an auto battler. Yes! I haven't made companions yet, which means, oh yeah. Don't have to code that. God, I hate that the idea that one day I might actually code companions. Why, oh man, all of D&D is so much. Why did I start? I didn't think this would be so hard. No secondary characters. Protection. Never heard of it. When a creature you can see attacks a target other than you within 5 feet, you can use your reaction. Yes! I don't have to code that. Though I did just peek down at the one below that. And I think I do have to code that. Superior technique. You learn one maneuver of your choice from among those available to the Battle Master archetype. If a maneuver you use requires your target to make a saving throw to resist the maneuver's effects, the saving throw DC equals 8 plus your proficiency bonus. Plus your strength or dex. You gain a superiority die. Oh. Nah. Not superiority die, come on. Do we skip that for now? What's the next one? Thrown weapon fighting. You can draw a weapon that has the thrown property as part of the attack you make with the weapon. What? You can draw a weapon that has a thrown property as part of the attack you make. Ah. No, that's not bad. That's not bad. That's essentially saying that even if I don't have a thrown weapon equipped, I can make a throw attack with it. In addition, when you hit the target with a ranged attack using a thrown weapon, you gain a +2 to the damage roll. That's actually not bad. Oh, that is actually kind of bad. You can draw a weapon that has the thrown property. So... Shit. That means that under that circumstance, when I pick from a list of available actions that it can do, I have to check all of the weapons specifically for thrown weapons and add that score in as well. Which means that it's adding... These fighting styles, man, they're really breaking me. They're such a challenge. When you engage in 2-weapon fighting, you can add your ability modifier to the damage on the second attack. That I've already got shit for. So there are only 2 left. My bad. There are only 2 left, but both of them suck balls, chortle nutsack, and something else that's funny. Fine. What are the maneuvers? No, there's so many. Okay, we're gonna have to do the maneuvers. I have another ability. I need to prepare. It is also 11:15 at night. On the night before Christmas. And 'twas the night before Christmas. And I was coding D&D. I couldn't figure out maneuvers. Damn, I'm not really good at making up songs, am I? how am I going to display a grapple, you know? I mean, like, coding it's not too bad because it's essentially just disadvantages. But, like, how do I code? How do I don't know. Alright, question. When everything gets initialized, are we duplicating the class? Items, skills, spells, character gear. I don't believe so. Meow. You reckon, Racky? Whoops. What are you doing, Mubblehead? I'm trying to figure things out here. I'm very confused. Can you help me? I'm actually not confused. I'm a little bit annoyed. Not confused though. Alright, let's do the maneuvers. So, the way we do that is we're going to head back here. Can I copy you? Ooh, oh. We're going to copy those. Duplicate. Rename. What are you doing, buddy? Maneuvers. That's not how you spell it. Maneuvers. Rack. I need my hands. You're a pest. Yo, how you doing, Nick? Merry Christmas. Good to see you, man. I wasn't expecting anyone to drop in for the stream, gotta be honest. Oops, wasn't meant to put that there. That there. Yeah, what's happening, man? We're slowly dicking around, doing some more work. And I'm pretty good. Just hanging out, like I said. I'm a little bit stuck on this project at the moment. I want to get it done. You know what I mean? Not that. Brace. Commander's strike. Presents. Damn. Good timing to get sick, isn't it? I mean, to be fair, I'm sort of just chilling. I mean, like, my idea of, like, the perfect Christmas day is just somehow sneaking into the family gathering, stealing some food, and then disappearing back into my caravan. That's potentially the plan for tomorrow. Oh yeah, didn't you say, yeah, your birthday's on Christmas or something, isn't it? I feel like I remember you saying that. I would not have remembered to say that, to say happy birthday though. I may as well say happy birthday now, since we might not see each other, so, or might not catch up again before then, so, happy birthday, bro! The dog's barking. The dog says happy birthday too. Did I spell evasive right? Yeah. Oh, it's hard to bifurcate my brain while typing and like talking and shit. That's fair. Well, yeah, at least you get the day off though. That's always nice. Honestly, the thing that I hate most about being sick is genuinely just the fact that it's genuinely just the fact that I feel like no one ever believes me when I'm sick, you know? Like, I feel like I did that too much as a kid, where I was like, I just hated going to school, so I would pretend to be sick all the time. But now as an adult, I genuinely just, like, even when I am sick, I feel like no one believes me. I've cursed myself. I've, like, reverse boy who cried wolf myself. I hate it. I also hate the word maneuvering. That's too complicated of a word. Sure, it's French. We'll blame Swag for it. It sounds vaguely French. So we'll blame him entirely. I was telling Dad the story today of when I was telling bloody Swag the story, about how drop bears exist and like where they come from, and how drop bears are basically just koalas that like actually healthy koalas. Like koalas are like pandas where they just like eat horrible food all the time. So they're incredibly slow and dumb and shit. So, you know, imagine a panda or a koala that just accidentally ate meat one time, got a taste for it, and then actually got ripped and healthy. That's a drop bear. That's how we got drop bears. True story. It's just a healthy koala. Like, I don't know what China's got going on. Like, I'm sure there are some healthy pandas out there. Like, it's probably just like what polar bears are. That makes sense. That makes perfect sense. I really should have... I should have just done this. Yeah, it's all happening down here. It's a fun place to be. Hang on. We'll do that. Then we'll paste that. Then we'll copy. Can I? I just want to copy the formatting. Can I do that? Can I? Can I do that? I don't know. Format only. Woo! There we go. Now I can just click that. Okay. Maybe, now I can just click that. And it brings me to the maneuvers. So it brings me to all of them. A little bit annoying that technically all of those links take me to the same page. But it's cool to at least have them, I suppose. Fuck, I'm smart, aren't I? Alright, well, look at that. We got now a whole other list of things to go through and fill out. Lovely. We're never gonna finish this project. Okay, what's the first one? Ambush. When you make a dexterity stealth check or an initiative roll, you can expend a suspicion die and add the die to the roll, provided you aren't incapacitated. Well, you can't roll initiative anyway. And dex stealth checks. Okay, yeah. Yeah. Okay. We add that as a modification. We add that as a modification. The superiority die is a d6, so it's a rolled modification. The tricky part is expending a superiority die each time the benefit is used, which means that we need to add more functionality to the roll modifications. It needs to have a feature. It needs to have a. Needs to be able to. I need to be able to add code to it to be able to expend a die or like on use or something. So it'll essentially just be a public event action on use, and then we can add to that. So that can only be called from within here. So we need a little helper function with that. Public void used is just going to equals that. Do it again. All good, man. Good luck with it. I'll catch up with you at some point, I'm sure. There, that. I know, it's not exactly the funnest stuff to watch, is it? This coding stuff. But no, all good, man. Have a good one. I'll catch up with you whenever we cross paths again. Happy birthday. Merry Christmas. All the above. Yeah. So a maneuver, again, I think is just going to be added as a... essentially a feature. What's the page before this? Is it specifically the Battle Master? Oh, Battle Maneuvers. I'm just trying to think of where I store them. Yeah, it doesn't really matter. I think I'll just store them in Battle Master. Actually, no, we just saw them next to fighting styles. What are they called? Fighting maneuvers? Master maneuvers? It was called fighting maneuvers, right? Battle maneuvers, that's right. Battle. Create a second folder out here. Battle. With a space. Maneuvers. I hate that word. Nailed it. I'm so fucking smart. Alright, so it's in here that they're going to be. And they're going to be features. All the same. Look at the hiccups. So, we're going to call it Ambush Battle Maneuver. Battle Maneuver feature. This is, like, we're getting so much shit. Like, fighting styles, we're 63%, not bad. Conditions, 23. Feats, 0. Background, 0. Races, 0. Features, 4. Not bad. Spells, 23. Not bad. Maneuvers, 0. We're getting there. We're close. We're basically knocking on the door of completion. I'm edging, some might say. I'm also sorry to those who wouldn't say that. My bad. Ambush. Fighter. Not fighting styles. Battle. Maneuvers. Ambush. So that is a feature that is consistent. It's not based on something that's equipped, which is good. Which means when you make a dexterity saving throw, you can expand one superiority die. Yeah, that's actually pretty simple. Yeah. So we just say public override on add feature on a knit. My bad. Sorry. We're going to just say user dot add damage roll modification. What was it to specifically? Initiative rolls and stealth rolls. Roll type initiative equals new roll modification. Ambush. Its name, the bonus is 0. Oh no, the bonus is a D6, sorry. 6 and it is rolled. Yes, Raki. That, and then we also need to add that to roll type dots. No, not roll type. Skill type dot stealth. That's it. Should we test it? I feel like we should probably test it, right? Yeah, fuck it. Nah, fuck it. I don't want to test it. It's too hard. We're just calling ambush done. Ah. Ambush, bait and switch. What are you? When you're within 5 feet of a creature on your turn, you can expend a superiority die to switch places with that creature. Provided you spend at least 5 feet of movement and the creature is willing and isn't incapacitated. Yep, good, never mind. Which means we don't have to do that. No secondary characters. Wrong one. Brace. When your creature you can see moves into reach, you have into the reach you have with the melee weapon you're wielding, right? You can use your reaction to expend one superiority die and make one attack against the creature using that weapon. I'm going to say no. No movement. We haven't done that. Commander's Strike. When you take an attack action on your turn, you can forgo one of your attacks and use a bonus action to direct one of your companions to strike. When you do so, choose a friendly creature who can see or hear. Never mind. Again, secondary characters. Commanding Presence. When you make a Charisma Intimidation check, you can expend a superiority die and add that to the ability check. I can do that one. Commanding Presence. Yes. Yes. Battle maneuver feature. I love how insanely long some of these script names are. Copy this entire thing over to here. Go away. You go away too. Great weapon fighting, go away. We got too many things open. Fighter object, feature object. Haven't needed any of you in a while. Do that. Take you. Commanding Presence. Easy. What were the checks again? When you make an intimidation, a performance, or a persuasion check, you can expend one superiority die. I forgot the checks already. Intimidation, performance, persuasion. Intimidation, performance, persuasion. Okay, one thing we forgot on this one is we want to say We need somewhere to store the superiority die. We could simply store it on the character alongside anything. Like, we do have quite specific things. Especially, like, on the spells and shit like that. So, like, having, hit die... I mean, hit die are used by all characters, but... yeah. Also, what gets reference to damage bonuses now? Rage. Rage. I'm not gonna get distracted. Yeah, so we just need to add a variable, which is just an int. Eh, fuck it. Public int, superiority die. Damn, I'm good. I want to sort these out a little bit more. These, it's just like a massive line, and I don't like that. Never mind, I'm keeping it like that because I can't be bothered to try and think about organization. So, superiority die. Which one of these, if we go fighter, superior technique, you learn one maneuver of your choice among those of the battle master. If you use a maneuver that requires your attacker to restrict... Is a superiority die always a D6? Fine, I'll check. You have 4 superior D8s. Fuck! Okay. So a superiority die isn't just an int. It is a... Do I not just have like a dice class? I don't think I do. So... public struct is probably enough for now, and it is just going to be a dice. Or a die. Not that, that. And public int dice count and public int dice size. Yeah. Yeah, no, that works. I think I like that. So then a superiority die is a list of dice. we should probably just say down here that make it a new list of dice, just so that it never equals null. We do need to remove this. Eventually. Okay, yeah, so with that we should be able to expand a superiority die. So, we're going to essentially say, on use, nope, not for there, sorry, for there, right, check my cat. What happened to you? Public void. What can I access that? Public event action on use. I'm adding this to the role modification. Why is this not working? Bring it out. There. No? I feel like I've done this exact thing before. Why is that not... It is a class. I mean, I could make a little help function. That's fine. Like, I couldn't just do like a little public add on use. add on use action, we'll just say bool adding and action adding question mark, then on use plus equals action else on use minus equals action. Fine. If adding actually I probably don't even need it. I don't even need the open close curlies. My god, the if it's adding, then add. If we're not, then we're not. Annoying, but it works. Oops. Get this back to where it was. There. Yeah, I gotta create 2 different instances of it, which is really annoying. But no, okay, so give me that. Role modification equals that. And then we're gonna say modification dot add on use, which is going to be adding, and the action we're going to be adding is can I not just like access it? It's really weird. I can. I guess I just can't initialize it. I can't access it in the initialization. Yeah, alright, fuck it. On use equals expand a superiority die. I mean, it may as well be in this script. Why the hell not? Superiority die. And then for that, we're just going to say superiority die dot remove at 0. So we're just going to take the first one in the list, like a stack. Which means that when we use a superiority die, shit. No, we've done this a little bit wrong. But also not really. So, and it's all about how the expending of the superiority dies. So this 6 right here, we need to know the superiority die size that we're probably going to remove. So when we use the modification, we need to get the size of the roll only when we are about to use the modification. Because if we use it once, well, as it stands here, if we add a roll modification of a d6 and then something else comes in and... Or say we have a mix of d6s and d8s, and then in this one, it uses a d8, right? And then I remove a random die, or I remove the die and it removes a d6. As long as it removes the right one, it doesn't matter, I suppose. It just needs to... Oh, God. My brain. So we could go... So it knows the size of the modification die. If the action takes in the integer, it could remove a superiority die of the same size, but I don't love that. I do kind of like the idea of adding another function like on use that is essentially like a func int that calculates the size of this when the modification gets processed. What are you doing, buddy? Nope, wrong one. What are you doing, my whinging kitty cat? I'm busy getting confused. about how to expend a superiority die. Especially when those dies are in varying sizes. Like, if every superiority die was a d6, then, yeah, you would just say, add a d6, remove a superiority die. And if I was to make it an on-use function, I could make the on-use function care about an input. Like I could say the action takes in an int. Of die size, and then we pass that into here. It needs to add an action with an int. And then when it does it, no, that also doesn't work. Because if we're getting the, if we're adding this roll modification to all of them, and then we're just using the first die, then we're adding d6 bonuses to all of them. And then if we use the d6 and then there's d8s, we're going to have to re-add this. And I don't like that, which means I want the modification to know... Yeah. Yeah. So... keep that as it was. And then we'll have another event. Which is going to be a func int. And that is going to be get bonus. So, and then when we process the roll modification, in the roll script, my bad. So we have if reroll ones, if reroll twos. We're going to say as well, if roll modifications I dot get bonus doesn't equal null. Oh, it can only be done inside. As in... Yeah, no, just slightly different. Bool. Requires... Oh wait, no. Dumb. Down here, where it gets the value... of the bonus... We just first need to determine the bonus. So we just need to say if get bonus doesn't equal null, then bonus equals get bonus. Yep. So now the user on do the ones that aren't getting used get processed? No, right? We're only getting the used ones here. So essentially, we only ever call this get bonus function if we're going to use it. So I can actually just get rid of that. And then in character, we just need an integer. Public int expand superiority die. Which is going to be okay, I guess in here it also has to check if superiority die actually, yeah, this is a damage, so we don't need, it doesn't do like an extra whole rolling animation thing. I was just, yeah, no, I was wondering if adding zeros was going to be a problem, but yeah. So if superiority die dot count is more than 0, God, I'm good. Alright, yeah, so if we actually have a superiority die to get, int die size equals 0. We found a superiority die, we're going to say die size now equals superiority die 0 dot die size fine. These ones don't have a C. Alright, and then we also want to say superiority die dice count minus minus, because we've now used one. We're expending a superiority. Why aren't you happy with that? Is that because I've made it a... Yes, Rack, I can hear you, but I'm trying to focus. Yeah, alright, so it has to be a class to be, like, instanced that way. Fair, annoying but fair. Yeah, alright. So we've moved the dice count down, and then we're going to say if that superiority dice count is now equal to 0, then we have no more of that superiority die. And then down the bottom, we're going to return dice size. So, if we have a superiority die to get, we're going to go in, we're going to grab the first one we find, we're going to set the die size to that, we're going to remove a superiority die from that list. If that was the last superiority die, then we'll remove that part from the list altogether. Good. So, and then in here, I'm going to say user dot expand superiority die. And that's not going to be on use, it's going to be the get bonus. Ooh. I did it. And now, that and that can be the same modification as well. Because even if it does an initiative on that one, runs that code, does this, still good. This needs to be set to 0. I think that works. I think that works. Again, we're not going to test it. Beautiful. And I'm going to assume that works. Because I'm just that good at coding, you know? As long as everything's happy with me. And it seems to be. Wonderful. Commanding presence. We got it. You spend a superior to disarm the target, forcing it to drop one item of your choice that it's holding. Alright. It's mostly doable. I know, Raki, I'm working late again. What are you doing? You wanna hop up? You wanna say good day? Yeah, that's what you want, isn't it? How you doing, buddy? No, don't hang on, don't sit on the keyboard then. God. You're a pest. I was trying to do something, you know? When you move, you can expend one superiority die. At least a lot of these we don't have to do. Like distracting strike. We don't have to do. Evasive footwork. We don't have to do. So this just added advantage. So goading will do. Oh no, fainting attack, sorry. Goading, when you hit a creature with attack, you expend a superiority die to goad the target into attacking you. Again, goading attack we don't really have to do. No secondary creatures. I kind of need to know why. I need these. Quick break, quick cuddle with the cat. Then we'll get back into it. Grappling strike, immediately after you hit a creature with a melee attack on your turn, you can expend a superiority die to grapple the target as a bonus action. That one will do. Lunging attack. When you make a melee attack, you can expend a superiority to increase the reach of your attack. If you hit, you add the superiority. We can do that because it is functionally adding superiority die damage. I don't love it. I think that'll be an orange one. Maneuvering, when you hit a creature with a maneuver, you expend a right die to maneuver one of your comrades into more... Yep, don't have to do that one. Man, they're red. Menacing. When you hit a creature with a weapon attack, you can expend one superiority die to attempt to frighten the target. Frightened is a condition that we haven't done. But we can do that one. Parry. You can use your reaction and reduce the damage. Yep, can do that one. Precision attack. When you make a weapon attack roll against the creature, oh. Alright, so you can use it before or after making the attack roll. So, yeah, you can add that one in if you don't quite make it. Oh, Jesus. But yeah, no, we can do that one. Pushing attack. Yeah, we can... pushing attack we probably won't do. Oh, actually no, we'll use that one because it adds to the damage roll. Actually, no, yeah, maneuvering attack as well. What about goading attack? Yeah, because you're adding the superiority die to the damage roll. Okay, and then we'll just check the other evasive footwork and distracting strike. Nope. In distracting strike, you add the superiority die to the damage roll. Okay, so those ones we do want to do. Fun. Ah, well. There's so very much that goes into this game. Oh, it's a lot. And my brain. It's not enough. This looks pretty though. Imagine how pretty it's gonna look when I actually add all of the, when we actually add effects and shit like that. These technically are just placeholder effects. They're like third level placeholder effects where I've had to polish them up a couple of times just to make them give me enough. Oh, it broke! Hit safety and broke it. On what? What did you do? What did I do? You reckon damage roll was null? What do you reckon? Which part of this line do you reckon was null? It's a 50-50 shot. Either the damage roll was null, or the damage type was null. I think it was doing an unarmed strike. That's what it says. I don't know what's broken there. Is the unarmed strike never being given an action info? No. That wouldn't make sense. When damage roll gets added, I mean, I don't know if this will fix it, but one thing I do want to do, actually, is, when it picks the equipped items, it's currently just adding unarmed strike here. No, sorry. Picking actions. That's fine. You'd love it when you just scroll up and then see something else. This here. So if equipped items doesn't equal null, and by that I mean equipped items dot count is more than 0. Then we'll say scored actions dot add that. So we only want to do unarmed strike if it has nothing equipped, which I don't think fixes our problem. Whatever we ran into here, but sure. God, I love a double hand axe. I love it when the fighter dual wields. Oh, it's so cool. Come on, do an unarmed attack. Now it's a high score. Now everyone wants to unarmed attack. Does it immediately break? Let's find out. I also added that to the pick actions. I need to add that. I'm gonna keep it like that, but I mainly need to add it on the... here. So it was in the bard done it. Also, another thing that I just realized, when it picks weapon there, I love how you can find it because of the pattern it makes on the, over there. Fuck, I forgot what I was gonna do. I don't even know what did I do anything? I just lowered the safety a little bit. Not really necessary. Alright, so specifically when the bard tries to unarmed attack. I don't get it. Debug.log. Damage roll doesn't equal null. Damage types doesn't equal null. If either of these equal false, then that's it. But I don't think it's going to. I think it's something else. And I think we're just getting a strange error. Why did that change? Why did it work a bit and then not? What the fuck? Damage types equaled null. The damage type's bludgeoning. It's just like... How would it work sometimes and not others? There's no pattern here. What's the pattern? How are we making it to there? Literally, the path is this. So, the damage roll gets passed into take damage from right here. Action info damage roll. Is action info... It's a class, yes. What if I serializable it? Is that it? Is that a magic fix? This feels like a magic problem. Is that a magic fix? Is it like a garbage collection shit? That's why we got 3 in that one time. Nope. Nope. Yeah, so we literally go from there up to here, and then that damage function gets called directly from here. Unless that's being overwritten by something. It's not. We can simply do that. What about the damage roll? Is it serializable? Yeah. What is happening? What the fuck is happening? What? Broken. I hate a fucking problem that works sometimes and not other times. It just breaks my brain. Is it trying to bonus action at fucking something? No. Because I'm adding the action manually. Like, it never gets touched to a bonus action. It doesn't. It makes no sense. It makes no sense. Doesn't make sense. What? It's just there's nowhere for it to do that. I have thousands of lines of code in this, and none of them say set the damage type randomly back to null. Why? Why? I've never... I fucking hate it when problems are just so... Like, I don't even know where to start. In the damage roll... when we roll damage, damage type, I found it. I found it. Oh, initialize variables. I think I fixed that. I think I fixed it. Apparently somewhere in my 1,000 lines did it set it to null. It was this one line right here. If roll modifications.count equals 0, then return. That would have made sense if I split this out into a separate folder? Thing? File? Function? But for now, we can just get rid of it. Okay, well, yeah, we were doing damage rolls without actually rolling. There wasn't enough molly involved. Should have been rolling. I fixed it. Riveting content, isn't it? They are meant to be adding their strength to the attack roll. Right? Oh, God. Where'd I have those? Oh my God, answer the phone. I didn't hear it. How did I not hear that? It's the aircon. Where'd I have those two debug lines? It was on the take damage function. Take damage. Oh. Don't know what made me do that, but okay. Well, we fucking did it. Oh, we done did it. Okay, not really. What did we do? What did we get up to? We got up to disarming attack. So actually, yeah. Alright. That's fine. Did I get rid of those two lines? I did, I'm pretty sure. Right, yeah, cool. Cool. It should be adding... Now it'll add the strength. Now it will add strength. Because the only thing that is just a melee attack... Right? That's how I did it, right? Yeah, unarmed attacks. Now you should be able to add your strength to your attack roll on an unarmed attack. Yeah, onto the attack roll, not the damage roll. Sorry, my bad. I'm so tired and sexy. What? Oh no, it made me think of it. It's just the way I said that. Yeah, see? Now it's adding strength. Yay! And proficiency. Oh no, he added proficiency to Lance. I was gonna say, you're not proficient in unarmed attacks, are you, Fred? When did I give you that proficiency? You liar. Fred just has weapons that actually do damage. Alright, let's call it. So, real quick, before we go, I just want to quickly undo the roll scores on those things. One of them being here. The score of an unarmed strike is going to be 1. In both places. Oh, well then, eh? Thanks for dropping in the Nick for a bit. And then he went to bed. Me too. I think I'm going to do the same. It's 12:30. And it's meant to be Christmas tomorrow. All I'm going to do is sneak over for lunch. Steal as much food as I can. Say good day to some people and then disappear back into me van, I reckon. Sounds like the plan to me. But anyway, I'll catch you next time. There's no one here. God, I love an empty stream. Catch ya. Oh, I wasn't ready. Catch ya.